So state of the art that it took them months to get them working without short circuit. Oh. They probably don't have their. Oh, really? We're just talking about, I was just telling them about how great our filtered air is, so you don't have to worry about allergies.
And I reopened and I decided to just dispel that now. I have tissue.
Are you asking about Derek? I'm not sure.
That's good. He'll be back.
Minister give a sermon that's based on bird essentially. We kept them to fly out the window.
First person that comes here next, I don't know. Someone from church. This is mostly white.
He's not here.
That's what his.
Do you know that solo if Felicia is here? Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, he'll do it. Okay. Yeah.
Good morning. Would you stand with us? Let's sing together. I don't know how I made it here. I don't know how I made it here. I know it's by the grace of God. I know it's by the grace of God. I don't know how I made it here. I don't know how I made it here. I know it's by the grace of God. I know it's by the grace of God. Yeah. Oh.
am so glad to see you. Good morning. That is a way to start our day. Thank you, Derek Tynes. Thank you, Derek Tynes, and that wonderful choir. This is the First Unitarian Church of Pittsburgh. I welcome you all. It is Sunday, June 9th of 2024. I have the pleasure of serving as your minister. I'm the Reverend Dr. Kate Walker, and I use the she, her pronouns. And for those with visual disability, I am a middle-aged, light-skinned female. I wear glasses. I have light brown hair and a short bob. And today I have a bright yellow stole side of love on, along with an orange-black top. And you are all welcome here. You are all welcome, no matter what you brought, whatever grief and broken hearts, you are welcome here. No matter what joy you want to share, you are welcome here. If you are a longtime member, you've been coming since you were a child, you are welcome here. If you just walked in for the first time today and you are wondering, are you in the right place? You are in the right place, and you are welcome here. We're delighted to have you all. We are Unitarian Universalists, and even those folks on YouTube, you are welcome now or in the future whenever you decide to hit click. We're glad you're here. We're a Unitarian Universalist church. We're a multi-faith community where all faiths are welcome. We are people of many beliefs, many origins, sexualities, and gender expressions. We're growing. We're loved. We welcome your questions, and sometimes we might even answer them. And if this is your first time with us, we invite you to please be in touch with us. If you're on YouTube, check out our main page at First Unitarian Church of Pittsburgh, and down at the bottom, you'll see a form for signing up for our newsletter, and send us an email, introduce yourself. And if you're here in person, we have a welcome guest right there in our garden lobby, and please share us information, and we'll be happy to share information with you. We have one change in our order of service today. After the children leave the service, we're going to welcome some new members into our community, and we're absolutely delighted to do that. And we have some activities going on, and I say that one of the biggest celebrations we have today is we are welcoming back Erica Shadowsong from her sabbatical. She assures me she's rested, she's energized, she's ready to be with us, and she's very appreciative and full of gratitude. And she's going to tell us a little bit about what she did through her sabbatical today. What else is going on today? All sorts of things. There is an art reception following the service in the Undercroft. We invite you to go on down and take a look at the beautiful art, say hello to the artists. And then pile into your cars, bring some guests. If anybody needs a ride, wave your arms, and head on over for our annual church picnic at Shenley Park. It'll be fabulous. We are at the Bartlett Playground. Bring your kids, bring your dogs, borrow some kids. Bring your utensils, your plates, your picnic attitude. It is a picnic, and it's my favorite time of day. I also want to express my gratitude. Yesterday, we had an all-day retreat with the Board of Trustees. Man, these people are dedicated. If you are currently serving on the Board of Trustees, and you're about to start serving, wave your arms around so we can say thank you. It was a beautiful, beautiful level of commitment in an all-day retreat. We're especially thanking outgoing members Rob Schwartz, Amy DeKikis, and Bob Mitchell. Thank you for your service. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I invite you now, take a deep breath as this worship service takes off. We're celebrating each other in this community, and Juneteenth and Pride, and we turn to our chalice lighting. This, the symbol of our faith. 2 circles and a bright burning light. I offer these words from the Reverend Karen G. Johnston, who is a Unitarian Universalist minister. Do not be alone right now. Gather together. Gather together grows courage in ourselves and in others who see the numbers swelling. It is a small thing, but right now is an important thing. Great sources of wisdom remind us just because you cannot stem the tide of all hate, it is still right to do the thing you can do. These things add up. Just one thing and my one thing, his one thing, their one thing, and her one thing. Together it becomes a big thing. Do not be alone right now. Any liberation, all liberation is collective liberation. My freedom is bound with yours and yours with mine, inextricably. Let us together cast our lots doing this big thing, bending the moral arc of the universe towards justice.
Good morning. My name is Jen Lehman, and we are going to be reading our collective principles this morning. I am a cis-het white woman. For those of you watching on YouTube at home, I use she, her pronouns. I have a black shirt on today with no sleeves and a big old tattoo. So if you would please take out your order of service and read along with me. As Unitarian Universalists, we covenant to affirm and promote the inherent worth and dignity of every person, justice, equity, and compassion in human relations, acceptance of one another and encouragement to spiritual growth in our congregations, a free and responsible search for truth and meaning, the right of conscience and the use of the democratic process within our congregations and in society at large, the goal of world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all, respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part, journeying towards spiritual wholeness by working to build a diverse, multicultural, beloved community by our actions that accountably dismantle racism and other oppressions in ourselves and our institutions.
Now that you've had a rest, we're going to invite you to stand as you're able in body or spirit. There is a language change in this hymn, I'm on my way. Instead of sister and brother, we're going to use the words sibling and neighbor. Less binary language on this Pride Month. So again, sibling and neighbor for those verses 1 and 2. And I turn it over to the masters over here.
Freedom,
Thank you. I'm really glad to be back. And I know everybody wants to know what I did on my sabbatical. Well, first, let me remind people what a sabbatical is. It's not every profession that offers this. This is a really, really neat opportunity. You see it in academia and you see it in ministry. A sabbatical is a period of time of rest and recuperation, but also spiritual growth. And a lot of times people will travel, or they'll learn something, or they'll write or work on a project. So that's what that was for the 5 months that I was gone. And I'd like to tell you a little bit about what I did, because I know everybody's going to ask me. So most of my sabbatical was spent refocusing on my family, just being with my family, especially my parents. My mother has knee surgery, so it was good to be able to spend time with her and be there for her. I spent a lot of time resting, and I did take a few classes. I took a class in storytelling, and it examined folk tales, and it was about looking for, this is going to sound weird, but it was about looking for the helpers in the folk tales, almost as if the stories are alive, and the archetypes in the stories are alive, and you find a helper in that story. So that was really exciting. I took a class on the ancient Egyptian spirituality from a group of people who are reconstructing that. And that was really exciting, and I've been exploring that. It's really complicated, so I'm taking it slow. And one of the things I learned from that is the older religions that some of us are looking to be inspired by, they don't fit as well in the modern world. We have to change them because we're not all priests, sitting around in a temple. Like, we have lives and things to do. So we have to find ways to incorporate spirituality in our regular lives. And that was something that I pondered as I was taking that class. I sang with the Bach Choir. We did our Carmina Burana concert in the spring. It's one of my favorite pieces, so that was awesome. And I understand some singers sang here last week from the choir, so yay. And I did a lot of crafting and creative stuff. I did some writing. I made this. I kind of went crazy with rosaries or prayer beads. And this is one that I made that's Egyptian themed. So that was fun. I picked up classical guitar again. I haven't played that since high school, and all of a sudden I had to play classical guitar. And so that was really zen and nice. And I did go to Puerto Rico. I went to Puerto Rico for my Finding Our Way Home conference, which are the BIPOC people of color professionals in Unitarian Universalist organizations. And that was very, very refreshing. I did not get to see as much of Puerto Rico as I would have liked. I was mostly at the conference, but I spent a lot of time in the pool and the hot tub. That was awesome. It was really awesome. And the coolest thing was I got to visit a sacred site, an archaeological Taino site that's out there where they're still finding things. And they had the remnants of a great ball field from that, sort of like the Mesoamerican ball game that we have learned about. So that was really exciting. And I remember being among the old trees that were there and feeling like, wow, some of these trees might have been here long enough that they saw what was going on here, and if only we could ask them, that would be really cool. So I just remember that was a really peaceful feeling and peaceful place. That was really nice. And the last thing I did was my husband, myself, and another person who went on our trip last year to Kenya finished our project that we turned in this year. And our project was a board game that we made about Kenya, and it's called Nyumbani, if you want to say that. Nyumbani. Nyumbani with an N. It means home or my home. Trying to consolidate a big idea or your experiences from visiting another country into one thing is not easy, but I think we really did it. And the thing that the game does is it's a coopetition game where you can win by yourself, but you get more points if you win together. And if you don't work together at all and nobody wins, then you don't get any points. So, and it was about exploring tribal identity I wanted to create a game that would help people understand how deeply embedded tribal identity is in Africa. It's something that we don't necessarily understand, and when we look over at Africa, at current events, we don't understand, why aren't they all getting along? Why aren't they all getting along? Well, they might look the same to some of us, but they're not. They have very deep tribal roots. So that's what the game is meant to explore. And that is pretty much in a nutshell what I did. And I'm really, really glad to be back. For you, it may feel a little bit like an ending because it's the summer, and for me, it feels a little bit like a beginning. So that's going to be interesting to see how that meshes. But I will be here, and I want to give my thanks and gratitude to the congregation and to the sabbatical team, which I heard was awesome, for helping me out. So thank you.
The sabbatical team. So I'm going to invite them to come forward. Jean Schmidt, Kathy Rohr, Heather Cunningham, I know cannot be here, Heather Masterson and Evie Evans, please. We just need to give you, I want you to see these incredible team. And one of the lessons I've heard was that Erica does a lot. Does a lot with 5 months, and I invite you to give back your responsibilities to Erica. And please, and I invite you all to give your applause, because it was a large amount of responsibility. And I can tell it went well because I never once worried, not one moment. Not one moment. I knew our children would, and the teachers were well supported, and the programs would be happening. And yeah, so that the whole, our lifespan religious education program was in good hands. And I'm delighted to have Erica back, of course, and thank you all very, very much. So go forth, relax. I would say for this team of 5, if you are looking for volunteers, they're hands off for 1 month. They get a 1-month pass. So we're going to send our children out to, they have a wonderful activity. They're going to go and make seed bombs. Seed bombs, little balls filled with seeds that they're going to disperse wildflowers all over the state, their city, wherever they go through the summer. It's very exciting. We're going to send our children off. So this is the part in the service where we have a slight change, and that we do have some new members to welcome, and if Joan Harvey and Amy Nikikis are available. Oh, there they are. This is the incredible dynamic duo that handles bringing in our new members and welcoming our visitors and making sure that people feel welcome and connected into our community. I have such gratitude for these 2 extraordinary human beings. Thank you. And as your name is read, we invite you to come forward as you are able and to bring your insert. We all have inserts, but for those of you who are coming forward, we invite you to bring yours with you.
Okay, these are 4 new members from 2024. We had 4 other folks that we welcomed a few months ago. So these are the most current 4 members. We look forward to welcoming them. We have Clint Geller. I'll name everyone and folks can start making it up. Clint Geller, Maria Magone, Laurie Levine, and if he's here, Ben Canab Donardo. And we welcome you all very, very much.
you go. So if you can have your insert out. Have you, the members and friends of this congregation, prepared a place in this community and in your hearts to receive these people into fellowship? We have prepared places and receive them warmly and with great rejoicing. Then let us all rise as you are able in body and spirit and welcome them by saying the following words together. We, members of I now charge you, as new members of the First Unitarian Church of Pittsburgh, to share with us your creative thoughts, your vital experiences of life, your questions, your doubts, your discoveries, and the principles which matter most to you. I charge you to shake us up with your honest thinking, to stir us with your conscience, and to stimulate our hopes with your dreams. Welcome to this blessed community. And a note of apology for those of you who are on YouTube that you did not get that insert. That is completely on me. I submitted it too late. So my apology. We'll get there next time. Yep.
All right, we come to the portion of our service where we offer our offering. This month we are sharing the plate in June with Ceasefire PA. Ceasefire PA works tirelessly to reduce gun violence in Pennsylvania. Gun violence is widespread and rising in PA. 33 people die each week by guns. Our Pittsburgh community is far from immune. Ceasefire has created a common agenda for legislation to end gun violence and does organizing and education work throughout PA to further the agenda's goals, which are extreme risk protection, lost and stolen gun reporting, universal background checks, and safe storage of guns. So I invite you at this time, as we move into our offering, ushers.
If
So much gratitude, so much gratitude. Even in the midst of pain, we find those kernels, those rose petals amongst the thorns of gratitude. It's what keeps us and helps us bear all the sorrow and the brokenness. Mm-hmm. I know each of you has joys, you have sorrows, you have celebrations, and I invite you to share them with each other. This is what creates the bonds of community. I know there are grandbabies being born, and babies being born, and birthdays, and graduations. And there is death, and there is harm, and there is poverty. I invite you to now join me in a few moments of personal prayer, meditation, and a little bit of silence. Spirit of life, feed our hearts with your soothing presence. Spirit of love, fill our bodies with your nurturing. Spirit of the Holy of many names that has been with us throughout the ages. God, Allah, Jehovah, love. Remind us that we are not alone, we are connected. We are just one touch, one word, one musical note, one meal away from each other. As our prayers come together, as our hearts meld, we build our courage and our strength to sustain ourselves, to thrive and survive. Our hearts are breaking with the news of more tragic death in Gaza. Our hearts are celebrating with the news of the release of hostages back to their family in Israel. Our hearts are filled with hope at the idea there might be peace. And yet we are crushed when it is not happening today. Spirit of life and love. In this time we celebrate Juneteenth and Pride. We remind ourselves of all those living in the margins of life who are oppressed for being who they are in their beautiful, gorgeous self. May they know they have safe haven here with us. May they know that they are loved. May they know that they are beautiful and beloved. Spirit of life, Spirit of justice, Spirit of the Holy, be with us now. Amen. Blessed be. Ashe.
That I love you. I need you to survive. I pray for you. You pray for me. I love you. I need you to survive. I won't harm you with words from my mouth. I love you. I need you to survive. It is God's will that everyone's needs be supplied. For you are important to me. I need you to survive. Yeah. Come on, baby. So we want to add this to it. It says,
It says this: if you need a world to belong to, look around, you're already home. And what you seek, you've already found. Turn around to me, and you will see no reason to be lonely.
If you need a world to belong to, look around, you're already home. And what you seek, you've already found. Turn around to me, you will see no reason to be lonely.
Turn around.
Music by Everett Hoagland. This Juneteenth soundtrack is sirens, march time chanting, no justice, no peace, loud honking. Poster plastered car caravans blaring horns at the intersection of yesterday, today, tomorrow blast the wrongful. Right Jericho's walls all around us. Loop the cities, past memorial murals, painted with blood, white lies, and indivisible, video recorded, self-evident, blue-blacked truths while making a way toward a perfectly pitched modulation to a more harmonious rendition of America. The beautiful that rings truer, ha, than a cracked Liberty Bell, because so far since the Middle Passage free market slave trade as an anthem, its truer declaration has variously been a bondaged work song, yes, a Negro spiritual. Prison labor song, strangely fruited jazz tree. I can't breathe, scat. Lift every voice, yes. We shall overcome, yes. And righteous rage freighted rap. The nation is again at the bridge of an echoing crossroad blues, an alternate lyric of something chanted every 50 years or so. A differently similar road, song sung over and over again, but not by just us now, with masses of allies chiming in this time, our feet meeting out march time beats matching footfalls still rising, reverberating from Congo Square, where long ago entranced Africans dancing freely to drum, music's congas, djembes, dunduns moved us righteously onward up the stony road we trod, the one we have always been on. So yes, yet again, let us walk together, children. No justice, yes. No peace, yes. No justice, no peace. Peace, a love supreme. So may it be. Amen.
It's a powerful poem. I did not know about Hoagland and his poetry until I found that in one of our Unitarian Universalist publications. Powerful poem, powerful words. I invite you to look him up, take your program home, get his name, look him up. Powerful poem. He speaks to us, I think, about our sixth principle, which is what I want to focus on today. Our sixth principle, the goal of world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all, collective liberation. It's aspirational, of course, but lately, perhaps, we're feeling it's more distant, that aspiration. It's getting further away, not closer, harder, less tangible. It may bring tears of grief, of lamentation. But my friends, hope is in the details, particularly details that sometimes are so close that we don't notice them. That hope is present with us. We just forget to give them the space that they need. A story of hope. 6 years ago, while I was serving in Northern Virginia, I received an invitation to work with an incredible group of people. The group was led, and the invitation came from a friend, colleague, a United Methodist pastor named Reverend Dr. Kerry Kincannon. He was the founder of Rising Hope United Methodist Church, as well as the hypothermia shelter that the whole community supported. The group of people that he gathered together included Muslims, United Methodist minister, lay people, a Black AME minister, other United Methodists, some Christian, some other various sides of Christians, but all various shades of skin color, from dark brown and gorgeous black to fair skin like me. All different cultures. We gathered together. We gathered at a table with one grant of $23,000. And our goal of $23,000 in all these cultures at that table was to create events filled with food. Lots and lots of food. This collection of near total strangers, we came to be known as Breaking Bread. And the goal was to have 7 to 8 multi-ethnic, multicultural meals over 2 years that were very focused on conversations at the table with people from out the community, talking about what our community needs. And the particular focus on what our community needs, the questions were reducing racism and the xenophobia in our community. We began by exploring the unique features of the cultures at that table and our faith that we brought together. We held up the particularities amongst our commonalities. We actively listened. A lot of the light-skinned people like me, we did a lot of listening, decentering ourselves as we listened to the stories, as our new friends opened their hearts and their minds, and we all began to move beyond our self-interest. We bonded over our mutual need and desire for really good food. We created among ourselves what we wanted to create at these tables over 2 years amongst the community members. What I learned from this wonderful experience is that a reminder that for some of us who are American, it can be hard to remain open to our heart and our mind and our appetite to stories of other ethnicities and cultures when they are right there in our neighborhoods and across the street. Particularly if we've never had the privilege of international travel, when we expect differences to happen. But when they happen with our next door neighbor, by what we smell coming from their kitchen, it can be disquieting for some of our fellow Americans. Many have a hard time putting aside their pride, their loyalty to our country, and our vision of what our country is supposed to be, of apple pie and baseball and potatoes and corn and Coca-Cola. Yet our country's expanding demographics are asking us to really shift our lens and our appetite, to open our minds and hear new stories right across the street and across time. And our country is becoming more and more international. It's becoming a hotspot of sizzling, fabulous food that we don't necessarily go intentionally to a restaurant for, and may be served next door in our neighbor's home. To do all of this, we have to expand our hearts. We have to listen, particularly if we come from a long line of white, cisgendered folk. It's crucial then we begin to open our intentionally the literal and the metaphorical table as we recognize our biases and our xenophobia. And as we recognize Juneteenth and Pride, we recognize these groups are particularly historically marginalized and systemically oppressed. And we begin to ask why. What are we fearing? Despite all of our, as Americans, protestations, we carry xenophobic tendencies and biases. For example, a study a few years ago showed that when white people are choosing to vote, if the candidate's color of their skin changes, but not the position, our vote will change to stay with the white candidate. It is our biases at play. The average white voter will change to a white candidate. We see this in hiring practices, real estate practices, healthcare practices. It's influenced by our conscious, and unconscious biases. This is what I get for opening the windows, isn't it? We who are predominantly light-skinned Americans are being triggered again and again as we're challenged to embrace diversity past our natural comfort zone. When we feel out of balance. Our equilibrium is tipped, and we're not quite sure who we are anymore in our identity as Americans. Just a month ago, I heard somebody state, and I met somebody just in a professional context, who basically said, we're all the same, aren't we? Yes and no. Beneath all of the ethnic foods and the cultural celebrations and the clothing, we are human beings with red blood. Unless you're Vulcan, then you're green-blooded. We all have one beating heart, unless you're a Time Lord, and then you have two beating hearts for those who watch Doctor Who. And we all have the same curious mind, do we not? Unless you're more blooded back to Star Trek and you're an android and then you have a complex computer, but you get my point. Yes, we're all the same in so many fabulous ways, and we're different. And we have to embrace this gorgeous tension. And all that we eat, unless, of course, you're an android who misses out, which is really sad. But under this great melting pot of American white culture, the beauty of diversity is lost when our immigrants feel they have to fit in by giving up their identity, their celebrations, and their food. We are bonded by what we eat and the bounty of this earth, but food is not the only worthy note. There's music as well, is there not? Bonding humanity across cultures and ethnicities. Humanity loves music in so many different forms. We love Chinese and Italian opera, and they couldn't be more different. We see the huge differences. We love country and Western while also loving the African drums beating from the hearts and the feet of the earth. We can appreciate everyone loves music even when there's different rhythms and there's sharps and there's majors and there's cacophonies in our heads and our bodies, and we're going, yeah, yeah. This is across human nature, giving us inspiration and transformation, and in minutes and seconds we can start to find the connection to one another. And there's perfectly targeted lyrics. Hoagland, in his beautiful poem, called out music as the heart of justice. And it's mixed, and it's loud, and it's chaotic, and it's ancient, and it is the beat of justice. In this diversity of music and food, we can celebrate at a restaurant, at a concert, but in our daily, deeply living lives, we find the barriers for justice and peace and liberty for all. In our politics, in our prisons, in our healthcare and education, and when xenophobia begins to rear its ugly head, and suddenly there's an invisible boundary of discomfort. But this is a place we can breathe into and accept and start to recognize it's changing us in really incredible ways. I'm going to raise your attention to one particular famous American song and the story behind it. And I'm not talking about Take Me Out to the Ball Game. I'm talking about that famous song called America the Beautiful. That song has the capacity to bring tears to many of us, move hearts across the political spectrum. Catherine Lee Bates, she was a prolific writer, English professor at Wellesley College. She lived on Cape Cod with the love of her life, Catherine Coman. Bates had a personal experience in the summer of 1893 when she stood on top of Pikes Peak in Colorado without a stitch of Gore-Tex, I may remind you. And she looked out into the vast plains in the east, and she looked behind her to the west and the great Rocky Mountains, and there were words that were simmering in her heart, and they began to swell up within her, and the poetry of that beauty began to infiltrate her whole body and heart, and a transformation happened. Despite the reality of living a life of a marginalized world where she could be easily oppressed for loving a woman, the love of her life, she could be attacked for any moment and ostracized from her friends and family. But instead, she realized all of us deserve to live to the fullest capacity of our lives, despite being surrounded by patriarchy and sexism and deep, ridiculous sexual fears. And she wrote America the Beautiful because she saw the common needs of humanity to appreciate beauty through lyrics and notes. We are called, my friends, to gather together to sing and enjoy music, and by God, eat, because it brings us joy and it breaks down barriers. We are asked to live responsibly and accountably within this interdependent web of existence because it saves lives. That's what we're doing here. We are saving lives. We are called to love our country because it is gorgeous, because it's founded on the principles of peace, liberty, and justice for all. We are called from our ancestors to be the best angels that we can possibly be, putting aside our grievances and our hurts and our pains and our wounds, and to be pushed past our discomfort. So whenever you feel that stress of polarized politics, whenever you feel that your heart is heavy with failure, whenever you feel like your vision of this faithful community of world peace and liberty is beginning to be crushed, I invite you to look close for hope. It is at the dinner table. It is at breakfast. It is at your neighbor's porch where they are offering you a bite of their world. Share a meal with one another. Sing a song. And as Karen Johnston said when I read her words for the chalice lighting, do not be alone, for there abides hope. Let the food and the music inspire and feed your hope. Let it transform you into compassion, from your hands into the instruments of justice. May it be so. May it be so. Amen, and blessed be. I invite you to stand and sing, and then go to a picnic and eat. As you are able, please raise your voices and your bodies. 170, we are a gentle, angry people. 170.
We are a gentle and free people.
Before we extinguish our chalice, I just want to remind you, I am headed off for, I'll be around for the next couple weeks to the end of June, and then I'm going to go on vacation and study leave. The worship committee has a wonderful collection of visitors and guests coming, some from our own community, some from outside, who will be doing wonderful worship throughout the summer. And I will see you the first week of August again, and I will miss you. And if there's any emergencies, you can always, call Erica. Please bring your voices together as we extinguish our chalice. They're found in our hearts as well as our order of service. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth or the warmth of community, the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Go forth into this world, my beloved. Go forth with your hearts filled with the kindling and the brightness of hope. Invite somebody different over for dinner. Invite somebody to sing with you. These are where we find the most precious parts of hope, in that connection over food and music. Go forth with your bellies full and your song bright for all to hear. Return with love. Bless me.
And I'm on my way to Brazil. This little light of mine, everybody say, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Come on, get back up. Come on, get back up.